Hey everybody, and welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. Got another 10-year-old whiskey here on the bar. Tamdhu 10 single malt scotch. As always here on the channel, I'm going to give you a nose taste finish review of this whiskey. I'll tell you a bit about the value, give you my final thoughts, final score, and leave you with the malt musing. But first, a bit about Tamdhu and this 10-year-old. So Tamdhu Distillery, located in the Speyside region of Scotland. And this one is their introductory release. Comes in at 10 years old. It is natural color, which is great. Little bit of information about Tamdhu on here as well. In 1897, the distillery was born with the quote, "can-do spirit," heyo, and 200 years of Scottish in the 200 years in the Scottish industry. Today, Tamdhu 10 embodies the same intrepid approach, matured exclusively in sherry oak. We ensure every drop is as magnificent as it was then. Okay, here's what the tube looks like. Tamdhu is one of these distilleries, flies a little bit under the radar. May not be something that's super familiar to everybody. Really nice looking bottle. Here's what it's got to say on the bottle itself. Yep, matured in sherry casks, 10 years old. Doesn't mention the natural color or anything about chill filtration on here. So while the tube says it's natural color, we may have to assume that there's been some chill filtration to this. And it is 43% ABV. There's one more look at that. All right, let's get into it. Really nice. You can tell already off the nose, getting some of those fruit notes just as I'm pouring it. All right. Oh yeah, definitely sherry for sure. Here's what the color looks like. Right away on this nose, it is fresh, it is dried fruit, red berries, sweet and a little bit of spice. It smells really warm and rich. It smells like it's got some good body to it. Speysiders can sometimes be considered kind of lighter whiskeys. That's not really what I'm picking up here. There's a little bit of citrus and a little vanilla in here too. But this is heavy on the dry fruit and the red fruit. Really nice nose. Okay, let's give it a taste. Cheers. Arrival's really sweet. It almost makes you think there's PX sherry in this. You get that really like red juicy berry thing, powdered sugar. And then it develops, those darker fruit notes start to come in. You get some pepper, spice. It's baking spices. We're talking cinnamon, allspice. There's some dark grape, dark cherry. Goes into a medium finish. Right after that spice hit, it really gets kind of creamy. There's a little maybe herbal note in it, but otherwise it is fruit and vanilla. A bit of that spice in the background. Very nice. Let me put a bit of water on this. 43%, so we're not going to drown it. Just a little bit. Ooh. More citrus now coming through. The water really opened that up. Like a lemon lime, a little bit of matchstick. There's some dry honey, dried fruit, maybe darker fruit now, plum. Impressive. Really great nose. Maybe even a little bit of it's like a nutty note too. It's very like Christmas cake baking spices kind of stuff going on here. Okay, go in for another taste. Sweeter, a bit more balanced. Spice note takes a step back, which is expected. Usually when you put a little bit of water on something on that second sip, but it's still there. It's in pretty good balance with some of the oakiness that I'm getting now. Still a lot of sweetness, a lot of fruit, dark fruit, dried fruit. Finish is still hanging on nice. Looks like a strawberry shortcake kind of thing going on. A bit more kind of dark chocolate coming up, wrapped around it on the end. There's the tube one more time. Here's the bottle again. Tamdhu 10, not an exclusive whiskey by any stretch, but maybe a little bit difficult to find just because Tamdhu is not a really huge named distillery. So it's not exclusive. However, if you do come across it, you're going to find it around that $55 range here in October of 2020 in the States. So maybe a little bit more expensive than a standard single malt at 10 years old, but by no means out of the range. So I think it's a decent value. Okay, final thoughts here on the Tamdhu 10. This is a really good one. I think this is one of the more complex, well put together 10-year-old whiskeys that I've had. The youthfulness is masked well by what I can only assume were some pretty quality casks used in this whiskey. If you're a sherry whiskey fan, somebody who likes to drink things like Dalmore or Glendronach, all of which come in about $15, $20 more than this in their 12-year-old expressions, this Tamdhu 10 can go to bat against those any day, even something like a Glenfarclas 12, something like that. So this one should be on your radar for sure. If you're looking for just a nice sherry whiskey that's not going to break your bank and, you know, still going to have a decent amount of complexity, character, and style, high praise for the Tamdhu 10. My final score on this is going to be a 3.5 out of 5, which means I recommend you get yourself one of these at a good price and definitely try it. Okay, so we're going to continue rolling with 10-year-old whiskeys here in October. I'll have another one for you next week. And until then, I'll catch you all later. And here's your malt musing. Sláinte.